Hello and welcome to the Nexialist Connection. This is where we're going to integrate business, technology, and learning so we can improve our personal and professional lives, have fun, and learn a lot. Yeah, so in this initial video, I want to go into the very essence of Nexialism. Yeah, it's nothing very surprising. It started with this book. It's a Canadian author, as you can see here. And basically, a Nexialist is a person that is kind of a mixture between generalist and specialist. So when we talk about a generalist or a multidisciplinary professional, this is a person that is a specialist in one thing and knows a little bit about many things, right? A Nexialist in this book was presented as a person that is kind of a specialist in different things, or can talk about really deeply about different things and can create nexus from them, can create sense from them. So basically saying a Nexialist is a person that understands so well different aspects of modern life, of relevant things, that they can solve problems faster with less effort and more efficiently. Sounds great, right? The problem is, a lot of people are using Nexialism or using multidisciplinarism as a utilitarian thing. Yeah, so let's be better at work. Let's make more money. Yeah, but the very essence of why I started doing this, I started talking about this, and I started talking about my work as a Nexialist consultant. I have a consultancy business. And I help all kinds of business of different industries, different countries, and that's why I'm doing content in English now. But the thing is, people are not understanding, people don't understand really well what's happening in the current scenario, like the shift of paradigms, not just capitalism versus whatever's coming, but we have AI, we have VUCA, we have Bunny. Have you heard about those terms? Basically, VUCA, I have it saved here because it's kind of hard to remember. VUCA is basically describing the world, or how people feel about the world in terms of complexity and challenges. So VUCA is VUCA, right? So it's volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. It's usually, there's not a timetable, but usually people talk about this or describe the world like this after the second big war. Yeah. And then we have Bunny, B-A-N-I. It's usually forward thinking and not very stable. Yeah, so it's usually post-COVID. There are different authors that will attribute this to different moments in time, but it's usually VUCA is first, Bunny is later, but there are different acronyms nowadays. But what's Bunny? Bunny is brittle, something that's not very strong, that's kind of shaky. It's anxious, like people want things fast, people are not sure they're gonna get it. Non-linear. So action and reaction usually doesn't make a lot of sense. There are different aspects, different factors influencing the results of things that I do. For example, in the past, my parents would work a certain amount of hours a week. They would still be able to get a car and to afford a house and to do lots of things with their money. Lots of things, yeah, for sure. Nowadays, it's not necessarily true. Yeah, so you can work as many hours as your parents. You can study the same college that your parents did. Not necessarily you have the same results. Yeah, that makes it incomprehensible. It's a hard word to say for me because I'm not a native speaker of English. So we have VUCA and Bunny, right? So this is the basis of my thesis. So we should understand that the world is different. We should understand that we should take it upon ourselves. We should be responsible for our own future. Oh, boring. Yeah, I know it's kind of boring, but it's very risky to expect the world to be fair. It's very risky to expect good results with the same actions from the past. And I'm not a coach. I promise this is the last coaching thing that I'll say. So let's go back to Nexialist. Yeah. So to become a Nexialist, it's very interesting because you kind of turn yourself into a future-proof person. And I don't want to talk about just work. You become a future-proof person in your personal life too. Why? Me. I was born in Brazil, in the countryside, in a very poor place. And because I was always trying to learn new things, And I'm not saying that I knew this all along. I was just learning because I didn't like my reality. Basically, I just didn't like my reality. So I was pursuing new ways of shaping my reality or moving into a new reality. Yeah. So I was always learning, always starting businesses, closing businesses down, and going to a new country. So I literally live in all continents. Yeah, for at least a month. But yeah, I lived in Africa. I built some schools in Egypt. I spent some time in New Zealand. I lived quite a while in North America. I spent some time in Central America and South America. I was born here, so yeah. I spent some time in Europe, and I lived for a little bit over a year in China and travel around Asia a little bit. So that lifelong learning pursuit, that drive, made me become future-proof in my personal life. So just last week, I had a terrible car accident and didn't affect me that much. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is surprises and unforeseen events will not affect you as much if you are future-proof or if you become a Nexialist, because you will have mapped out most of the outcomes and possibilities, and you'll be kind of protected in a way, at least mentally protected in a way. And so that's good for personal life. When we talk about professional life, the more Nexialist I become, the more multidisciplinary I become, the more lifelong learning enthusiast I become, more work I get, the more work I get to choose from, the more partnerships, the more businesses for me to advise, the more mentees for me to guide, the more students to go through my courses, the more business schools that want me to record courses for them or tech courses for them or design courses for them. So that's really good. Yeah, so we kind of become future-proof. But how? First of all, I don't want to be very long because I tend to talk a lot and I don't want to talk a lot. First of all, assess yourself. Yeah, so I have a little list here. I'm going to open it so I don't talk too much. Yeah, so self-assessment. Understand where you are. And I do have a methodology. If you want it for free, I can share it with you. Just comment below and I'll find a way to give it to you. Self-assessment. Understand what's your strength, what's your weakness. I'll show you how to evaluate yourself in a bit. Just stay with me. Create a learning plan from that. Yeah, so from what's weak and for you, yeah, so in your personal development, create a plan and start learning. You can use YouTube, you can use lots of things. We can, if we have enough followers here on YouTube, we can even start like a weekly call that we can talk about things and we can just discuss things. And if nothing, you just improve your English in case you're not a native speaker. Or you can improve your Portuguese if you want to learn Portuguese. Who knows? The sky is the limit. Next, use project-based learning. There's an active methodology that you can create projects. With ChatGPT, it's so easy now that you can make any professional nowadays feel like they don't know as much as you do in no time. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but yeah. Use ChatGPT, create project, ask for projects, and then you can solve those problems in those projects, and you can have a portfolio. For example, if you want to become a data scientist, if you want to become, I don't know, a business person, you can have a project-based portfolio in 2 months. It's just about knowing what you want and learning how to ask it and learning how to build that future, build that reality. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a bit. To finish, to wrap it up, actually, networking, feedback, and reflection. When you network with people, you get to talk to people that see the world in a way that's different from yours. So when you talk about the things that you're doing, you can get their perspective on it, and you can kind of shape the way that you're achieving your goals. Of course, you're not going to be changing every time from every feedback. You have to evaluate. Maybe that person's coming from a not very good place, that they don't really want to help you. But most of the times, interactions and listening and feedback will guide you through either a validation of your model or maybe a little bit of adjustment that will help you achieve your goal. Yeah, so I have 7 abilities that I've been teaching to over 12,000 people that turn them kind of future-proof in personal and professional lives. And they're so deep, they're so profound, they're so difficult, they're so complex that they are professions in themselves. But we are living in a moment that we're not working with roles anymore. But a lot of people want to say that they have roles and they have like very specific assignments and attributions. But we're going into a new scenario, corporate, professional, whatever, in which people don't really have strict assignments and attributions and roles. With that in mind, you could get a higher salary, or you could get clients that will pay you more if you approach your role or your skills or your competency with these 7 topics, these 7 concepts. Okay, so the first of all is design. And when I talk about design, it's design thinking, visual design, graphic design, all kinds of design, UX design, learning experience design. Okay, and the second one is education. So when you understand how people learn, why people learn, the relationship that people have with work, the relationship that different people have with consumption, with buying, with spending, and all of that. That's all in learning about humans. I think that's the most important thing in this AI era, is understanding people and serving people well. So we can talk about instructional design, which is something that I love, how to create courses, how to use learning theories, learning psychology, motivational psychology, UX design, learning experience design, technological skills, digital skills to create learning experiences that really engage and that really change people's lives. That's one, or actually 2. Business, so you have to understand business, guys. I know businesses are not fun sometimes. So it's bureaucratic, it's boring, but it's necessary. At least in the current paradigm that we live in the capitalist paradigm that might be dying off, I don't know. But for now, we need to learn business. We need to talk about business. We need to be fluent in business language, at least a little bit, because people that make decisions that will get you a job or a client are still guided by business orientations. They're business centric, okay, for now, but they are. It might change, but you're going to be waiting your whole life just so it changes, or you're going to learn a little bit of business acumen and you're going to be future proof in different aspects of your life. It's a choice. Data science, understanding how to map the real world preferences, choices, everything into the digital world so that we can make choices, make decisions, we can guide models, we can guide software development, solutions development, automation, and everything like that. Being able to map the world into the data world, it's called data science. And when you're able to do that very superficially, at least, with some Python, using ChatGPT if you don't know how to code, asking the right questions, you're already ahead of most people in the world. So that's very important. Marketing too, a lot of people don't like marketing. It's kind of like conning people, scamming people. It's not all that. You can change that. You can use neuromarketing, you can use marketing, you can educate people, you can use consumer education to promote the value of the things that you do. Instead of just lying or inflating your narrative, you can educate people through marketing, but you have to understand the basics of marketing. Also, AI and automation. That's a cliche, but it's very important. I've been doing AI and automation since my college times in 2018. And it's crazy how it changed, and it's going to be even crazier. So you have to catch up, understand how to use ChatGPT, understand what's happening in the realms of video creation, image creation, music creation. Okay, just be caught up with all of that. And research, guys. Nowadays, with the amount of information that we have online, being able to research well. And when I say research, it's not just researching into Google, for example, but it's researching academic papers, understand their narratives, and pursuing information online, finding people online, pursuing biases. Sometimes an institution is biased politically or whatever, ideologically. So understanding that they are biased and being able to gather the information that you want and that you need, and not being influenced negatively or positively or whatever from that bias, is a very good skill nowadays. And it will be a required skill in no time. Yeah. And when I talk about research, is also researching the world. How do you research the world? You have quantitative research and qualitative research. Quantitative, it's about the amount. So as many people as I can, with closed questions, with forms, with surveys, send out to the specified group. You have to be able to specify the right group. Otherwise, you just have random data from random people. Yeah. And qualitative is usually more open questions, interviews with fewer people, not always, but sometimes, but more profound questions. Okay, so those are the skills. Guys, I don't want to be too long. It's already 15 minutes. This is the first video. I tried to talk about Nexialism. Yeah, so it's from this book. Yeah, Rogue Ship. Basically, a Nexialist is a person that can solve problems faster, that can connect ideas faster, that can create meaning from random things faster with less effort. And that helps them, me, and possibly you in our personal lives, in our professional lives. And that's pretty good because you're always fulfilling your pyramid of needs, Maslow pyramid of needs in different aspects. And you're always learning about yourself. You're always learning about people, and always learning about even bad things that happen to you. If you like this idea of becoming an Nexialist, or if you want to explore more business, technology, and learning, feel free to follow this channel, subscribe to this channel, like and comment here, because I will be making more videos.